Good morning. Are you all active? I am not. I'm little down. It looks like uncle is also down. All of us are little. We are all under the weather. So it's a new term, new phrase people use. All right. This is the plan. We'll keep it little interactive, so that we can feed on each other's strength and keep it active and not fall asleep. Okay. More than that, we'll see what the Lord uh, wants to teach us, wants to inspire us this morning. Okay. I see some new faces which never introduced, whose name I know. Okay. Anyway, um, we'll keep going. How many of you read E-Nadu this Monday? You didn't read? You should read E-Nadu every. Yeah. Those of you who don't know, we all came in newspaper. So for this Grace Marathon was happened last Sunday, right? So we were at the first. So we came. So read E-Nadu. Okay. How many of you have pets at home? Especially dog. Yeah, we saw Simba the other day. You guys also have dog, is it? Okay. What is good thing about a dog as a pet? I don't have a good opinion, but still. Sorry? You are active or dog is active? It makes you active. Alright. Dogs are loyal, right? Generally. And they seems to care you at least. And they care for you actually. Than the other dogs we bring up in life. Anyway, um, where are we? We are in the study of. Anybody paying attention to my sermon? So we were looking at the life of Joshua. We were looking at the book of Joshua. We saw some of the fascinating stories in the book of Joshua. We completed till Joshua 8. Finally, they conquered the city of Ai, which we are all struggling to conquer now. Joshua conquered long back. All right. So from here on, I am not planning to go chapter after chapter. How the story happens is in chapter 8. There is a deception from one of the local tribes by name Gibeonites. They deceive them. Somehow they got accommodated. And after that, Joshua and the Israelites went on to conquer the remaining land. God gave them victory after victory in most of the battles, and that's where in chapter 14 we come across this character of Caleb. Caleb, Caleb. So throughout the sermon I'll try to keep the pronunciation as Caleb. I make it Caleb. Forgive me, it is the same. I think in Telugu Bible it should be Caleb. I also studied in Tamil like Caleb. Now in English pronunciation it is Caleb. So in the due course it may go somewhere between both the pronunciation, but nevertheless you will get it. Who is Caleb? What is the name meaning of that name Caleb? It is from it's obviously a Hebrew word, and the root word is Caleb, and the meaning of that word Caleb is dog. Did you know that somebody can keep their name as, because the meaning is faithful, loyal and bold. A faithful servant is the meaning, but the word is taken from the same meaning as dog. So here is Caleb, who is going to challenge us because of his life, his lifestyle, his decisions, his attitude. His name means a dog, a loyal one, a faithful one, a, a bold one. Right? Are you ready? You see where the sermon is going? Right. Where do we come across Caleb? I know most of you might have heard sermon after sermon on Caleb. Nevertheless, we'll see what the Lord has new for each of us this morning. We'll get into the text. A lot of scripture to read. AB team, are you having a mic? One of you please help as and when I indicate it. All right. Okay. We will switch to Numbers chapter 13 and 14. That is where we come across Caleb. So, Numbers 13 and 14, the context is this, right? Israelites crossed the Red Sea and they have traveled all the way, not up to Canaan, but somewhat closer to Canaan. The south of Canaan is where they are currently camped in Numbers 13. It is called the wilderness of Paran, south of Canaan. So they are camped right there. Few more kilometers, they are into the promised land. That's when the Lord asks Moses to send some spies out. Spies, not the not the masala. Spy. What's the other word? Some undercover operatives to the land of Canaan, so that they can go survey the land and come back. Why God did that? If you find the answer, let me know. There is no direct answer. But then God did it. Right? And then that's when Caleb comes into picture. Let's read Numbers chapter 13 verse 1, 2 and 3.
Numbers 13 verses 1 to the Lord saying, send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, everyone a chief among them. So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the command of the Lord, all men who were heads of the people of Israel.
Right. So this is where we come across the name Caleb, right? Verse 6, from the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. Okay, right. Now, and this is the mission, right? God has asked Moses to pick one leader among each tribe, and from each tribe they are sending. So what is the first character of Caleb? He's a leader. He is a leader. We'll stick to that thought for 2-3 minutes. He is a leader. What do you think is the age of Caleb at that time? He's a leader. He is representing the tribe of Judah. From Judah came David. From Judah came Jesus. So now, he is the representative, right? This is what the verse 1 says. No, chief among them. Verse 3 says, who were heads of the people. So Caleb is a head of the tribe of Judah. What should be his age is the question I'm asking you. Leader of one of the tribes should be approximately, don't look at the Bible, just from your mind, 80. Karthik is saying 80. Okay. Generally, should be 80, 70, 60, right? But then this Caleb is 40 years old. Here, right in Numbers chapter 13. How do I know? I will explain it later when we go to the book of Joshua. There he mentions his age at that time. So at this time he is 40 years old. The challenge is age anything to do with leadership? No. Age has got nothing to do with. So this is the question I was thinking of late. Are all Christians leaders? Are all Christians leaders? Are you all with me? Try some answers, right? Yes. Yes and no, actually, right? With respect to certain positions, be it a church leader or be it a leader in an organization, be it leader in your project or whatever, it is specific role. God calls them specifically. But in general, all of us are called to be leaders. There are certain pockets in life which God is asking you to lead. Haven't you come across that you are called to lead people into Christ? Basic. So, dear friends, I want you to understand and recognize and apply, as we are studying these characters of Caleb, we are also called to be leaders. So now, at a general sense, yes, but is husband the leader of the family? Yes. Now, can he outsource that leadership to his wife or children or anybody else? Yes or no? No, keep it interactive today. Sorry? I didn't hear, I'm ignoring anyway. Something controversial is coming. So we cannot outsource. If husband is the head of the family, he is the head of the family. If he is slacking, he is slacking. It cannot be outsourced, it cannot be replaced. If husband and wife are the leaders to bring up the children, they are the leaders to bring up the children. It cannot be outsourced to Sunday school or Monday school or anything. Get it? We are called to be leaders. If God has called to be a leader in specific things, be it church leadership, in your company leadership, in your whatever, take it. God wants His people to shine for Him in different places in the world also. Agreed? God needs, imagine, right? Some of these, if one of believing Christian is becoming the Supreme Court judge, how nice it will be. So that is also there. So leadership is a bigger topic, and we are called to serve with that servant mentality, servant leadership, lead like Jesus, and all that we keep hearing, right? So the first point, Caleb was a leader, and that applies to us also. Keep that in mind. We'll continue the story. So what happens? Moses sends these 12 people, each from each tribe. You all know, right? The report comes back. What is the report? 10 of them in one side, 2 of them in another side. 10 of them, the majority, comes back and says that land is good, the grapes were big, everything is good, but the people there are very scary. We are doomed. We cannot move any further. We will get trampled by these people. We will get failure. There will be failure. We cannot move forward. We have to go back. I don't know why God brought us here. And they started grumbling, and there was a big riot kind of situation in that Paran place. Who are the 2 people who were quieting them? Caleb and Joshua were quieting them. So dear friends, we will read Numbers 13:30. Asher, 13:30.
Then
But
Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, we should by all means go up and take possession of it, for we will surely overcome it.
Right? So when others were saying that, hey, let's go back, it's not possible, what is our man Caleb saying? Let us go up once and occupy it, and we were well able to overcome it, is what he is saying. There were these people called Anaks, A-N-A-K, Anaks, descendants of him, who are supposedly giant looking people, well built, like Goliath kind of people. It says, somewhere I read, even Goliath might have come from that group of people. So apparently these delegation, 12-member delegation which went to spy on Canaan, they saw that set of people, they got scared and and came back. But then look at the statement of Caleb, let us go up at once and occupy it. What do you think made these two men talk like this? What I am calling it is something called conviction. Have you heard of this word? Conviction. Caleb, a man of conviction, is my second point. Caleb, a man of conviction. What is conviction? Conviction is you all have a belief, you all have some faith, and you holding on to that belief, you are holding on to that opinion, you are not wavering from that opinion, is what is conviction. Here is a greatest example of a man of conviction. Are you with me? Not wavering in his belief. Let's read Numbers 14, 7 to 9 also. This will give insights into what is his conviction and why he could stand like that when others couldn't stand. Numbers 14, 7, 8 and 9.
And they spoke to all the congregation of the sons of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land. For they will be our prey. Their protection has been removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them.
Right, very simple, right? What he is telling to his people are three simple points. Do not rebel against the Lord. Can that conviction be applicable to us? Do not rebel against the Lord. It's not some master strategy that Caleb and Joshua had, that they told something different. The problem is others, those 10 people, looked at the challenges. They looked at the problem. They looked at it practically. But these two men looked at God, right? Do not rebel against the Lord. Second, do not fear the people. Do not fear those Anaks or anybody else who is living in that. And then he basically is saying, Lord is with us. That is his conviction. Lord is with us. Do not worry about the people who are opposing. And then do not rebel against the Lord. Right? Very basic conviction. What did this conviction do? This conviction made him not divert from God. Correct? The question is, we also have conviction. We also have faith. This is nothing but faith. Is our faith enabling us to not divert from the Lord? The problem is, we also look at the challenges of this world. We also look at the challenges of our life. And then we make decisions. Conviction knows its purpose. Caleb knows exactly why he was living. And all the activities, all the desires, everything is surrounded by the knowledge of that purpose. What was the purpose? God took them out of Egypt from that slavery. And what God promised them, He will take them through a promised land. True? Did God take them eventually? Yes. Caleb knew that. That was his purpose. Now, in between, he saw some challenges. Now, does that mean that purpose is wrong and he has to go back? No, right? Very simple. Brothers and sisters, I'm trying to make you understand and relate to our situations. Right? What was his purpose? His purpose, he knew God's purpose for him and for them is to live in the promised land. If that is true, how can this small challenge can divert that plan? Very simple logic, right? What is our conviction? What should be our conviction? How that will drive us to define our purpose is what we'll see now. You are ready? What should be our conviction? how that conviction will drive us to know our purpose and eventually make decisions. General purpose, right? God exists. We all believe. Is there any wavering in that? Right. He redeemed you from sin. Do we have that assurance? Towards what? He redeemed you by His precious blood so that you can live with Him all through the eternity. Agreed? Now, He has not taken us into heaven yet. He is keeping us in this world, right? To live in this world, we need some resources. You're with me? So we need some education. So we need some job to fulfill these resources so that we can live and we can share the good news to others. I'm again reiterating, I want you to pay some attention here. God exists. He redeemed us. We are now sold out to Him. Our purpose is to share the good news to others. In order to live in this world, we have to earn. We have to make some money for that. Now, where is the agenda of becoming rich, becoming big career, building big careers, doing that, this, everything comes into picture? Where did it come? You understand where we get diverted? What made Caleb focus? What made Joshua focus? What made them make the right decisions? Is knowing this purpose. You're with me? Man of conviction. Conviction will not divert you. Conviction knows its purpose. Conviction knows how to handle with those challenges, and it will also define the magnitude of the challenge. What do I mean by that? When you know that you are sold out, you are going to live through eternity with God, then the small challenges, the challenges we face will look small to us, in other words, in this life. Anak looked a big challenge to 10 of them. They looked small challenge to. So which party you are is the question. The minority or majority? No pun intended. Okay. Caleb, a man of conviction. We'll move on. So now what happens? They reported people are in chaos. They were rebelling against Moses. Who is upset? God is upset. Is He happy? He brought them miraculously all the way here, and He has been promising them, He has been providing them, but still people are unhappy. Many times we are also like that, no? He saved you from eternal wrath, but then we complain, we cry, looking at the challenges. Is God happy? I always compare with kids, no? You provide everything to your kids, then kids come back and cry, Dad, you are not doing that, you are not doing this. How loving it will be, no, for you. Anyway, so the story, we'll pick it up at Numbers 14:24.
But my servant Caleb, because he has had a different spirit and has followed me fully, I will bring into the land which he entered, and his descendants shall take possession of it.
Right. So God is unhappy and He is pronouncing a judgment. Right? He wants to destroy them then and there. But then Moses pleads, asks for forgiveness. So God says, I will forgive them, but then this is the deal. None of them are going to enter the promised land. Did you know that? None of them who were there as adults entered the promised land. Only these two men entered, Caleb and Joshua. Even Moses didn't enter, and eventually they had to take a detour for 40 years in the wilderness. In that 40 years, that entire generation was wiped out. Okay, so in that context, God is telling this verse, right? But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit and has followed me fully, I will bring into the land into which he went, and his descendants shall possess it. Okay, so which land and all that we'll see later, it's not that important. Nevertheless, these two words or two description about Caleb is what is fascinating. One is he's a, all right, I want you to observe 14:24. Give me two attributes. We promise that we'll keep it interactive, right? Louder, all of you are sleeping. Yeah, different spirit. He has a different spirit. So that comes to our third point, right? Caleb, man of difference, is what I am putting. What is this different spirit? Very, very scary looking term, right? Different spirit. This has got nothing to do with Holy Spirit. This has got nothing to do with evil spirit either. This is not that spiritual spirit word here. Okay. It talks about the general character, general attitude, general nature of Caleb. We say no, hey, he was in good spirits today, which doesn't mean that some 10 other evil spirits came or nothing like that. He's in good spirits means he's in good mindset, good mood. That's the language we use. Here God is using it in a similar sense, right? Character, attitude, attribute, pure, his nature. He is not. So that is what God is endorsing him. He is a different man, is what he is saying. He is not a person who succumbs to the crowd. He is not a person who succumbs to the dash pressure. Anybody remembers? We dealt with one pressure in the retreat, right? Peer pressure. He is a standout Christian for me, is what God is telling, right? Man of difference. How do we make decisions in life generally? How do we make? Or which decisions we are generally happy about? Whatever you made, some 10 people comes and say, good. And we are happy. Right? And how do we generally make decision? Whatever those 10 people are doing is what is our decision also. Correct? Kids has to nowadays go to international school. So we are happy if the school name is having international. International, whatever. Where is Merrill's? Merrill's father would have been happy. He was very upset. Why? How can they just add the name international to the school names and nothing international about the schools? Anyway, peer pressure, we saw elaborately, right? Our decision making is based on peer pressure. Why somebody buys house nowadays? Because in that age everybody is buying, so we have to buy. Those of you who didn't come to that retreat, we had a nice list of examples running age by age. Even kids have peer pressure, youth have peer pressure, young parents have peer pressure, young couple have peer pressure. What is a peer pressure for young couple? Good news. They are under good news pressure. Second good news pressure. Like that, lot of pressures are there. Imagine yourself in that delegation of 12 people. Delegation of spies. You also in your heart of heart thinks like Caleb, let's assume. Hey, this is achievable. I know those giants are big. We can achieve it through the help of God. You believe in it. But then all these 10 men are saying, no, it's not possible. That is this is that. And then the entire crowd is saying it's not possible. Heart of heart, tell me, will you change your stand or not? knowing all of you, knowing all of us with our South Indian mindset, yes, we will change. True or false? Shame on all of us. We call this as sheep mentality. What somebody does, we do. Smaller decision, bigger decision. God is calling people who can stand out for Him. Man of different spirit. Do you have guts to send your kids to a different studies? Which can be purposeful? Think about it. Not only this, there are every aspect of a typical metro life is succumbing to peer pressure, unfortunately. Why we buy certain car? Why we wear certain clothes? Dear friends, these are small things in life, it's okay. Bigger things. Your dreams, your desires, your aspirations, your goals. Is it driven by others or is it driven by God and His purpose? Caleb could stand. Of course, they were courageous also. But their conviction drove them to stand out, to stand differently for the Lord. We'll move on. What is the second one? But my servant Caleb, because he had a different spirit and has followed me fully, I will bring them. What is the second one? Has followed me fully. NIV it is followed God wholeheartedly. Both are same. Okay? You're with me? So our fourth point is Caleb who followed God fully. Who followed God fully. And this term, right, followed God fully or wholeheartedly, comes 6 times. This Numbers 14:24, Joshua 14:8, Joshua 14:9, Joshua 14:14, Deuteronomy 1:36, Numbers 32:12. You don't have to turn to all these places. Everywhere God endorses him as Caleb who followed me fully. Caleb who followed me wholeheartedly. Right? I was thinking, what can I share about this following God fully? Ready? 15 more minutes, just bear with me. Following God fully, right? How do we build this up? First good thing is, he followed something. Have you seen the street dogs? Street dogs, they run here, they run there, then they run here. Something shouts, another group barks there, it goes there. Another group attacks them, it runs here. It doesn't follow anything. It runs as if it is going to some important executive meeting, nothing. This Cyril Nehemiah was telling, no, in Hyderabad you see people who are riding bikes like this. Not strong, like this, right? And invariably they'll go here, there fast. As if they are going for some important, urgent meeting. Nothing is there. Right? At least Caleb is following something. So first question, are we following anything? Right? Whereas you see these pet dogs, they will follow the master. Pet dogs follow the master. Okay. Now, Caleb is following God. He follows God. Right? So they are not... This is a typical, basic Christian principle, right? We are all also called to follow Christ, follow God. He is not following men, he is not following the trend, he is not following the popular opinion, but then he follows God. When does the real following of the Lord happens? It happens to us from the cross, at the cross. When we gave our life to the Lord, yes. In some meetings you raised your hand to believe in Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, the following started. But then, after that, how is the following started? Is it continuing? It's a question that you have to answer. Are you still fan of Jesus Christ? Or are you using God and Jesus as ATM machine? I use this analogy. We use God as ATM machine. These are people who compartmentalizes life, right? When there is need, go press the ATM machine. I want this, I want that, I want this. That's all. Other than that, God and Jesus has got nothing to do. It's a question you have to answer. Anyway, he follows God. Now he follows God fully. I want to focus on fully. What does that mean, fully? Now we saw these pet dogs, right? Pet dogs are good. They follow master. Have you taken your dog outside? What happens when they see the world? Some dogs still, see, near our house, many people walk their dog. I have seen some poor owners. This dog is attracted towards other dogs. You're hearing me? Eventually, I'm going to compare the dogs with you only. Right? That is, he follows God fully. Following Jesus fully is a New Testament concept we have talked multiple times. What is that? What is following Jesus fully? Are you a fan of Jesus or a follower of Jesus? Are you an admirer of Jesus or a disciple of Jesus? It is a call for discipleship, dear friends. We spoke about a believer versus a disciple. Many times I have spoken. Believer is what? Level 0 believer. You grow, build on it, you become a disciple. What is the Great Commission? Go and make disciples. God is asking you to be a disciple. Who, like Caleb, who follows God fully. See, without reading Luke 14:26, I am not willing to move forward since we talked about being a disciple. Can we read Luke 14:26? All of you turn to those verses, right?
If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, and wife and children, and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple.
Right? This is the words of Jesus himself telling to his disciple. Who's a true disciple? This is a true disciple. This is the definition of somebody who is following me fully. This is the definition of somebody following Jesus fully. You cannot be just using God as an ATM machine. You cannot be just admirer of Jesus Christ. You cannot be just calling yourself, I belong to a particular religion called Christianity. No, that is not the purpose. The purpose for Jesus dying on that cross is so that you can follow him fully, not partially. Not whenever you want, wherever you want, in whichever areas in life you want. In all areas of life. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, for a true disciple, Christ is important than anybody else. He is not asking us literally to hate anybody. It is all about priority. You cannot even make one decision which is displeasing to your community, your society, your whatnot. What fully you are following Christ? If anyone comes to me and does not hate even his own life, for a true disciple, Christ is important than his self. Verse 27 in that Luke 14. Whoever does not bear his own cross and comes after me cannot be my disciple. A true disciple carries his own cross. He is ready to face the challenges. He is ready to face the trials and tribulations and persecutions and problems because he is a Christian. Caleb and Joshua were prepared to face the challenges. It's not that they had some blind confidence that God will come and save. Yes, they had. But the flip of it is, even if they get killed, so be it. That is the purpose for their living. That should be the purpose for your living also. If God has redeemed, you can die tomorrow also. If some deadly disease comes, so be it. Die. You believe in eternity, you should not worry about death. Verse 33 in that, if any of you who does not renounce all that he has, cannot be my disciple. Any of you who does not renounce all that he has. For a disciple, Christ is important than his possessions. That is what is following God fully. Now you decide for yourself, are you partially following God or fully following God? His life is sold out for God is not for only few people. Hey, many of you think that, hey, getting fully sold out for Lord is only for some full-time workers, for that person, this person. It is a call for a basic child of God. Agreed? There is no such categorization in Christendom. The moment you raised your hand to believe Lord Jesus Christ, this is the only. You have to surrender fully. There is no partial here and there. Caleb followed God fully. Call for you is also to be his disciple. Follow him, learn from him fully. We'll now come to Joshua chapter 14 and we'll finish. So Joshua chapter 14 is basically the climax, right? 14 and 15. What has happened between Numbers and Joshua? 40 years has gone. They were in wilderness. Leadership got handed over from Moses to Joshua. Joshua led them into the promised land. We saw all that, right? Jericho wall coming down, crossing the Jordan. So all that happened, and now they are conquering one after another. So now he is assigning different tribes to different places, and Caleb comes to Joshua, the tribe. Can we read verse 10 or 14, 10, 11 and 12. Chapter 14, verse 10, 11 and 12.
Now behold, the Lord has let me live, just as he spoke, these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses, when Israel walked in the wilderness, and now behold, I am 85 years old today. I am still as strong today as I was in the day Moses sent me. As my strength was then, so my strength is now, for war and for going out and coming in. Now then, give me this hill country about which the Lord spoke on that day. For you heard on that day that the Anakim were there, with great fortified cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me, and I will drive them out as the Lord has spoken.
Right. So, fifth point is Caleb finished well. Caleb finished well. You all saw we starting marathon picture. Nobody knows whether we finished or not. Every year we don't generally. This year we finished. Right? So finishing is important. Finishing well is important. What happened in this 45 years? He would have seen the death of his relatives, his generation. but still his focus on the Lord was intact. His conviction was intact. He finished well. We know, brothers and sisters, I know scores of people who raised their hand that they will follow, they believe Jesus Christ, they'll follow Him all through their life. But somewhere in between they gave up. Maybe they married a wrong person. Maybe as married couples, they are into different priorities. They are nowhere to be seen. I know people who raised their hand as young boys and girls, served the Lord passionately. One wrong marriage, gone. They are worshipping idols, some of them. How you start matters. That alone doesn't matter. How you finish also matter. That consistency is also needed. Look at this Caleb, right? We just saw his strength is intact. His faith in the Lord is intact. Even now, as 85-year-old, those descendants of Anak are still there. Right? He could have assigned it to some other tribe. No, now he is going and claiming. Joshua, you remember, you were there when we made the deal? Give this to me. I will win it. Physical strength, I can't even imagine how he can. Now only I can't win anything. He is having that much confidence in the Lord. Finished well. He did conquer. I am not going into all that. They eventually settled. When we look around, brother, there is a lot of persecution nowadays. This is not the time to do anything. We tell, no? Look at Caleb. I'll summarize and we'll finish. 5 points, right? He is a leader. We are also called to be leaders. He was a man of conviction. How is our conviction? He was a man of difference. How are you standing out for the Lord? He followed God fully and he finished well. So, dear friends, last month was what month in our church? Missions month, right? All these missionaries came, spoke, they gave certain calls to be missionary. Who do you think those calls are for? Somebody else, right? Yeah, that is for somebody else. We are not leaders. Is it true? But deep down you thought that's for something else, somebody else. Why are we not even challenged? Where is your conviction? Are you really following Jesus Christ, who gave his life for you? For us, our life, our possessions, our everything is important. We look at, brother, this North India, lot of persecutions. This is not the time to go. Let's be missionary here only. All that is true. All that is true. But then at least 2 out of 10, 2 out of 12 should say yes, no? Forget 2. 1 out of our 150 at least should raise hand and say, Anna, I am going to North India, no? Why? Or can we get satisfied saying, hey, we are missionaries wherever we are? If we take the leadership call seriously, if we have the right conviction, if we want to make a difference, if we really follow the Lord fully, we can also finish well. Otherwise, we will all finish somewhere else. I'll end with that. Close your eyes and let's think about your own life, your desires, your dreams, your aspirations. Is it all in line with the purpose for which God redeemed you? Or is it all in line with your selfish ambitions? Caleb is a challenge. He could see the trials, he could see the challenges as opportunity for God's name to get glorified, because he had the right perspective of his own life.